morning, everybody, and welcome to a very special Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer weekly race here on Speed Gaming 2. Tonight's four contestants are Macobra52, Johnny Link, Booba 7, and Human Mustard. And tonight we have something very special planned. These four runners, plus some other runners who are not part of the featured stream, are going to do a warpless frog percent. That's right, you heard me correctly, frog percent. Hi everyone, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. Joining me on the commentary tonight is Leslie Pro 04. Good to have you here this evening.
Thanks, Laws. Good to be here for a part of what is going to be interesting. With this basically being warpless frog percent, well, it's basically the vanilla game, but it's frog friendly. So everything's going to be where it is. And these runners are going to be used to how this game is played as a frog. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, that is for sure, Leslie Pro. So, yes, they are going to be a frog at all times. So even if they get hit, they are still going to retain their frog suit abilities. And as you can see, we're underway. And the first stage, of course, is 1-1. Everything is vanilla, but of course, we still turn off auto scrollers. So that is a good thing, of course, when we get to those airships. And of course, if you get hit, you keep your frog suit abilities. Of course, you do lose time because of that little animation as you're trying to go back into just regular Mario, but you're stuck as a frog.
Yeah, call it an evil curse by Bowser.
All right, so we're at 1-2 right now, and looking at things right now as we try to get everybody in sync, they're pretty much neck and neck. I'd have to say a very slight lead right now for Human Mustard. Because this is the randomizer software, some stages that are normally inaccessible as Frog Mario, for example, Fort Knox or 7F1, will be accessible when we get to that part of the game.
So what isn't accessible to us is, well, this warp whistle, for example. It's just not in a way we can get to it, so not happening.
Well, of course, being this is a warpless race, Leslie Pro, it does not make a difference whether or not we have any warp whistles, as we do see that on Human Mustard and Macobra's side, Boom Boom is down, but Johnny Link and Abuba 7 are not that far behind. And of course, as a frog, we can't do the famous slide trick here on 1-5.
Okay, so chat's pointing out 6F1. How do they get past that? Well, that is because that is also a frog-friendly level. The spot where Mario would have to typically do a crouch slide has been raised up a block to make it beatable.
And I do believe a 6-5, which is another one that requires a tail, will also be accessible via the frog suit, special thanks to this randomizer. Human Mustard is at 1-6, Cobra is at a Hammer Bros seed. Does pick up a star. I would imagine you could still use the stars. I'm guessing we're still going to get items that are going to be helpful, like hammers and Jugum Clouds, but no matter what item you use, you're going to be a frog.
Through that, and Human Mustard putting on a P-Speed strap for 1-6.
Right, Human Mustard just cleared the Hammer Bros stage. Booba 7 right behind him. Johnny Link trying to wrap up 1-6, but it's going to be a Macobra and Human Mustard literally side by side in the World 1 airshipping. Again, because this is the randomizer, the auto scroller has been turned off. Human Mustard is the first one to the Lemmy fight. And since it's vanilla, I would imagine, yep, you'll have the standard 3 hits. All the Koopa Links should have the standard 3 hits. Human Mustard's going to get the wand first. Macobra just a couple seconds behind. And right behind Macobra, Abuba 7. Johnny Link having just a little bit being behind the rest of the runners, but definitely very much alive in this race.
Also worth noting that orange flash, that's a thing that does happen with frog percent, so expect to see that 6 more times from each runner.
Yeah, I remember seeing that orange flash with the Game Genie when I was a kid. If I always wanted to be like Hammer Brother Mario and I would complete the stage, yeah, that's kind of a cosmetic thing that does happen in the Mario 3 game. That way you get a special message from the king completing as Frog, and it's, "Tonight I dine on frog soup. Care to join me?" Of course, that's a parody of Shredder saying, "Tonight I dine on turtle soup" in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game.
Unfortunately, sorry, King, I already had dinner, so that's not happening.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so we have Johnny Lincoln 2-1. We've got Macobra and Human Mustard. Human Mustard trying to do the best he can doing leapfrog, and he does a really good job using those paratroopers. Unfortunately, Macobra having just a little bit of a miss there, but again, there's no need to worry when you get hit, because again, when you get hit, you're still a Frog Mario, and Human Mustard keeping a few second lead on Macobra. And again, we've got Ibuba 7 right behind, but he's got to be careful that he does not get a third mushroom, because those fireworks are going to cost him time, and he's able to avoid. Johnny Link doing the swim and Troopa tactics there, and 2-2, and he's got the stage run. But unfortunately, he just got 3 of a kind. We are treated to some fireworks, but that is going to be a little bit of a time loss for Johnny Link.
Bit of an unfortunate time loss, but it is 5 extra lives, which, I mean, could come in handy later, but you never know, because Boss Bass could be dining on frog legs later in World 3.
Oh, right you are there, Leslie Pro. Human Mustard, the first one to be done with the World 2 fort. Macobra, not that far behind. Next up, we've got 2-3. And down goes Boom Boom for Ibuba 7. Of course, the good thing about the spikes is you're not going to get crushed. You think of some video games where you get crushed on the spikes, it's instant death. That's not the case here in Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah, the Mega Man games come to mind in that regard.
Yeah, Mega Man, Sonic games, Castlevania games. Yeah, but not this one. And Human Mustard now at the Angry Sun stage, the Quicksand stage. He's built up a few seconds lead on Macobra, and we've got Ibuba 7 and Johnny Link both in 2-3. Ibuba 7 is ahead of Johnny Link at the moment. Macobra picking up some good P-speed here in the Quicksand stage. Mustard trying to make sure he doesn't get triple flowers. Macobra is able to avoid a star, and here's Ibuba 7 now on the Quicksand stage. Johnny Link going to be right behind him.
No early hammer for Human Mustard. Johnny Link's not going after the hammer, bro. That could have been the early hammer, which would have been a time save.
Yeah, that's true, unless the hammers really aren't in play for this particular race.
Something tells me they are and going to be used in their usual spots, such as get around 4F1, which I believe has also been made frog-friendly in one specific part.
Human Mustard was able to avoid the fireworks, but now he's got the Boomerang Bros stage to tackle, and there's his hammer.
Yeah, so here's the interesting part of the pyramid stage. Normally you'd have to break the 1 block inside through, but as a frog, you gotta break 2.
Wow, bad break there from Macobra. Did you see that? I mean, somehow the beetle didn't break that brick.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think that's because the brick was not enough on the screen. Because I have seen that in this game where if the brick isn't enough on the screen, the shell's just going to bounce right off it.
And that might have been exactly what happened there with Macobra. So now, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, looks like he's going to play both of the boomerang stages just to be safe. He wants to have that hammer. Oh, but if he would have went with the other one, he could have saved some time and just forgot about that music box. So it is going to be Human Mustard, the first one to the World 2 Airship. And Abuba 7, Johnny Link, both at the pyramid stage right now, and Abuba is just about wrapping it up. Johnny Link still has some portion of it left to go, but yeah, you got to break 2 bricks to get through because you can't crouch as a frog. So here's the saltiest Koopa in town in Morton Koopa, and again, their HP is vanilla, so I would imagine we'll see both Roy and Ludwig von Koopa be their earthquake selves.
Yep. Well, Big Mouth, as he was known in the Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 TV show, well, he's great on the mic, but in terms of the actual action, not so much.
Yeah, you're right about that. Mustard continues to keep his lead. Macobra is second. I'll tell you what, Abuba 7, not that far behind Macobra. He's definitely gained some seconds on him. Johnny Link just about at the pipe here in the World 2 Airship. Human Mustard 3-1. Having that frog suit's going to come in handy in these water stages. Johnny Link just has one more hit left to go, and there it is.
Yeah, the frog suits really speed up these water stages tremendously over basic Mario movement. And it's not Frog Mario in the water, so expect to see this particular world fly, unless Boss Bass has anything to say about it.
You know, because they're going to be frog suit, I wonder if we're going to see any of these players take the pipe in 3-5. For those of you who don't know, there's actually a secret pipe area in 3-5 where you can get some bonus 1-ups, I do believe.
Been a long time since I've seen that room, and I'm talking a very long time, not to date myself, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you know, when I first did the randomizer, I actually didn't know about that secret pipe in 3-5 because the only way you can gain access to it is by the frog suit because of the bubbles that block the pipe. Here's Human Mustard in the first Boss Bass stage, 3-3. Oh, and Abuba 7 treats us to some fireworks. He gets the triple shrooms.
Yeah, of the firework options, because that's 2 lives, that's the shortest option. 3 lives is just slightly longer, and while 5 lives is what we typically would go for in a rando, not here. That would be the longest set of fireworks. And now that we're at World 3-4, is anybody going to go for door 3? Not Human Mustard.
I wonder if it's even possible to do as Frog Mario.
Uh-oh, and Booba has given Boss Bass a frog meal.
Yep, he sure has, and gives the fans exactly what they were hoping for. So score a meal for Boss Bass. Here's Macobra 52, also in 3-3, and Johnny Link. So Johnny Link should be able to gain ground on Abuba 7, as he had to play the Hammer Bros stage. Johnny Link able to dodge the Boss Bass there, and he is through. And you know what? He is not that far behind Macobra now.
That's all it takes when it comes to speed running this particular game. One mistake or one death, and suddenly, if you're ahead and that happens to you, your competition's caught up tremendously. But if you're behind, if you're in the other...
Macobra tried for door 3, but couldn't get the frame perfect input.
Yep, it is a 1 frame input, but if you get it, it saves you pretty tremendous amount of time, in all things considered, especially if you're trying for those last seconds. It's a shame you off a run.
By the way, we missed it, but in addition to Abuba 7, Macobra 52 was also a meal of Boss Bass. That's how Johnny Link was able to catch up to Macobra as well. Ooh, Human Mustard working on 2 flowers, and he's able to avoid the 3rd. So here's 3-5. Again, this is the one with that pipe. I don't remember which pipe it was, but yeah, one of the pipes is guarded by bubbles, and you can't go into it normally unless you're Frog Mario. I don't think we're going to see it in the race because I do believe it does cost time. As cool as it looks, it's not a valid play in a race.
And Human Mustard has found the note block to the coin heaven, which
He wants
is
that
an
Jugum.
auto scroller. However, there is an item at the end of it, a Jugum's Cloud, which is worth it because those allow you to skip a level of your choosing.
Yeah, particularly, I don't know, some level called 5-9, I'm sure, that we're going to see a little bit later.
Yeah, 5-9 is definitely a stable skip across the board. I mean, unless you're playing Hondo for this game, and then in which case, the Jugum's Cloud does nothing for you. But
Yeah,
in most situations, very helpful item.
Yeah, 5-9 is one I'd want to skip. Vanilla 7F2 is one I'd want to skip. Here's 3-8 with Human Mustard and another appearance of Boss Bass. And you saw that ice block in Human Mustard's hands melted. If you hold that ice block too long, that ice block is going to melt. Johnny, like I tell you what, is not all that far behind Human Mustard. You know, he's made up some good time.
Chat pointing out with auto-scrolling on, 7-4 is also a nice level to skip.
Yeah, I skipped that one a lot as a kid, too. I hated 7-4. Yep. And here's Abuba 7 also going, wow, he and Macobra 52 are side by side. They're both in the coin heaven. They both want that Jugum Cloud.
And Human Mustard with the speed to pull off the little H jump is a fraud. Now, that is impressive.
You'll love to see that. Now here's Abuba 7 and Macobra. Macobra's actually now in 3F2, the underwater fort. Human Mustard is going to be the first one to the airship where Wendy Koopa awaits. I know this was the level I tried to get the special message by completing it as Frog Mario, and I would fail almost every time because of those stupid candy cane rings.
Yeah, it was either the rings or getting hitboxed by Wendy. And Boss Bass 6, another swipe at Macobra in 3-8, but this time Boss Bass doesn't have the verticality to get another meal.
Yep, and no problem there for Human Mustard taking down Wendy. He'll be moving on to World 4. Johnny Link going to be the second one to complete World 3. Down goes Wendy.
And Abuba 7 about to hit the World 3 airship. Macobra not too far behind, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's definitely in this race. This is going to be very close between all four of these runners. But so far, you know, Human Mustard has more or less played a pretty darn good race. Of course, he does have 2 stars, so he's going to want to try to avoid that third one if he possibly can. So he's in 4-1. This is Giant World. And Human Mustard is able to avoid the 3 of a kind. Abuba 7 takes down Wendy. Macobra not that far behind.
Now we get 4-2, a Giant Land level that also features Cheep Cheep. Thankfully, not Giant Cheep Cheep, because let's face it, that would be scary.
Yeah, the Boss Bass that you're thinking of. Of course, when you see Boss Bass in 4-2, they tend to turn into giant Goombas. I kind of like that.
You know, that's just one thing with the randomizer where, for whatever reason, Boss Bass does not get along with the giant enemies, and that causes some rather interesting effects, that aforementioned Goomba being one of them.
Yeah, you gotta love that, but yeah, we won't be seeing that tonight because 4-2, you don't normally see the Boss Bass in the vanilla game. For those of you just joining us, this is the vanilla game, but all of these runners are going to be Frog Mario at all times. But of course, the auto scrollers remain off, and of course, this is a warpless run.
impressive movement by Human Mustard through 4-3.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, 4-3, it's easy to fall off that stage, but he definitely made that look easy. And here's now Johnny Link at 4-3, and Abuba 7 has just cleared 4-2. And Makobra just cleared 4-1. Here's look at that jump on that Jugum Cloud to make that big skip. And again, with the frog suit, on the bottom left of the start of 4-4, there is another secret pipe that takes you to some bonus coins and 1-ups. But again, in a race situation, it's not really a strong play. Oh, but Johnny Link falls in 4-3, and that's going to further Human Mustard's lead and actually give Abuba 7 second place now.
Even though you are a frog, that does not lose the frog status from getting hit. You can still die easily to things such as pits, as well as we've already seen boss bass, but lava pits is another hazard that will be a thing later.
Human Mustard has decided to go for 4-6 as opposed to 4-5. Taking a few hits there, but again, as you are permanently Frog Mario, you do not take any damage. Of course, you do lose time on that animation. And we see that Johnny Link is working on 2 flowers. Abuba 7's working on 2 stars. Try to avoid those fireworks. We've already seen a couple of sets already tonight. Here's the donut fort. Tell you what, that tall jump is really tough to do when you're not a frog. So to do it as a frog, I mean, is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a very hard jump with a very intricate setup. And it's not easy to pull off even if you know how to do it. So to those who can do it consistently, hats off to you.
And Johnny Link timed it right. He avoided the triple, as did Abuba 7. So no fireworks there. That's exactly what these runners don't want. They don't want to see fireworks. Human Mustard the first one to the World 4 Airship, and Iggy Koopa with that crazy hitbox, but that again is not going to be a factor tonight. Good jump there from Human Mustard.
That's one way to save time versus going that lower route, because just like Sonic games, that part, the lower route, is definitely slower due to those fire hazards.
Yep, and all 3 of the other runners have also decided to take 4-6, so I would assume that 4-6 is proven to be faster than 4-5 with the frog.
Although you would see 4-5 as well as that secret room in 4-4 that was aforementioned in a different category known as all P-switches.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a category. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mustard moving on to World 5. Abuba 7 to the Boom Boom fight here in the Donut Fort, 4F2, no problem. Makobra not that far behind, and Johnny Link not that far behind Makobra. Yep, there's only 3 ways to die, as Leslie Pro had mentioned. Either fall into a pit, fall into the lava, or get eaten by boss bass.
Well, I mean, you can also time out of a level, but honestly, that's not going to happen here. Not with these featured runners.
Unless we rig the clock to have like only 50 seconds, then we might see some fireworks.
What do you think this is, Super Mario Brothers 35?
That was a good one there, Leslie. Yes, that good old red timer where it speeds up after 10 minutes of play. Yes. 5-2 for Human Mustard, taking the upper path, of course, which is the faster route. Abuba 7 taking down Iggy. Makobra just a few seconds behind him. Johnny Link not that far behind either. No, you cannot get crushed in this game. When you get crushed in Super Mario Brothers 3, you simply lose a power-up. Of course, you're thinking of a lot of different video games where and there's that hitbox coming into play, that crazy hitbox that Iggy has. So Johnny Link going to lose just a little bit of time there, but he's got him down.
Yeah, the Koopalings can hitbox runners pretty easily. Iggy being one of those that is a very strong tendency of doing that. Wendy can also do that on her own. honestly, the rings are only part of the problem of that fight.
Oh, Human Mustard jumping the gun there on the final hit of that boom boom there. But no matter, he is through 5F1. Gonna put the Hammer Brothers to sleep and go to the tower because it's the vanilla game. The tower will be required. Booba 7 now in 5-2, currently in the second position of our 4 featured runners, and the Cobra 52 not that far behind. Johnny Link here in 5-1.
And Johnny Link, unfortunately, landing on the nippers, twice. I guess they wanted to taste an idea of what frog legs tasted like. I don't know.
Evidently, the nippers paid good money for those frog legs, so I guess you got to get your money's worth there. Johnny Link got to make sure he takes the upper path here in 5-2, which he does. Human Mustard just wrapped up the tower, and we'll be moving on to 5-4.
Interesting to note that I just saw was that climbing animation that Frog Mario has. Is that a thing in the vanilla game, or did they add that in?
I'm pretty sure it's a thing in the vanilla game. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty darn sure you can climb as Frog Mario.
Yeah, it's just the slopes that aren't a thing.
And Amuba with the same strategy, using the music box. Yep, Animus United just confirmed your question right there. Yeah, you can climb in the vanilla game as Frog Mario.
Something I never tried, so...
And Human Mustard just completed what I like to call Homer Simpson's favorite stage because of all those donuts.
It would also be Homer Simpson's least favorite stage if he took a fall, because instead of the going for the donuts, he'd be saying, "No!"
That's a good one there, Leslie. A very good one indeed, as Human Mustard gets another music box, which will come in handy later on. I would imagine he'll probably use that in World 7. Here's 5-7 where Human Mustard's right now. Abuba 7 has just completed the tower. Macobra about 20 seconds behind him, I would say, and Johnny Link picking up that leaf will do absolutely nothing. You will stay as a frog. So Johnny Link just going to ignore it. But he's not going to use the music box. He's going to take these stages on and pick up the extra equipment. Here's Human Mustard in 5F2, which we call the Lava Fort or the Sky Fort.
There's also another name I call this fort. Keep moving.
Yeah, keep on moving.
You're staying on cycle.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, just keep on running so that you're staying on cycle and not getting hit by those potobos. Yep, exactly right.
Detail like that can really help.
Just cleared the donut level. Macobra again, pretty much keeping up pace with the Abuba 7. Johnny Link's starting to slip off the pace a little bit here. He's getting ready to wrap up the tower now. Human Mustard now on 5-8.
Yeah, this level, there's like only a couple of Koopas and they're late in the level, so Mustard is not even going to try grabbing them to build speed, because at that point in the stage, it's not worth it. You're just trying to get out of there without getting beamed in the head by a spawny egg.
There's Abuba 7 clearing 5-7. And Johnny Link working on 5-4 right now. But Human Mustard now at the airship, as you saw, he used the Jugum Cloud to skip 5-9, which is one of the auto-scrollers that is retained in the randomizer. Also retained in as an auto-scroller is a stage we affectionately call Atlantis, one of the beta stages. We will not be seeing that tonight. Also, the Coin Heavens, which you saw earlier in 3-7, those auto-scrollers remain intact as well.
But of all the Coin Heavens in the game, 3-7 is definitely the most lucrative due to the fact that it has a Jugum Cloud power-up at the end.
Which is why I have affectionately called that stage Jackpot. Human Mustard takes down Roy, so he'll be moving on to World 6. Cobra just about done with 5F2. And Johnny Link now in 5-7. But Abuba 7 has moved on to 5-8. Oh, but Cobra having some problems with the boom boom. You don't see that animation very often where he's got his wings.
Yeah, that just goes to show that as you get later in the game, the flying boom booms are the ones you really want to keep under control, because if they get loose, all bets are off. And speaking of getting loose, Johnny Link had some fireworks get loose to the tune of a 5-up. And since it is a frog percent situation, it truly is a 5-star frog splash.
Yep. Here is a 6F1, the escalator fort. And there's that block that I believe is removed, because you normally can't do a duck in 6F1. So in the randomizer for frog percent, that block is removed. Otherwise, the stage will be impossible. Booba moving on to World 6 as he takes down Roy. Johnny Link taking down Boom Boom here in 5F2, excuse me. And the Cobra now into the Roy fight.
The trick to not getting stun locked by a Koopa kid that has Earthquake is before they land, jump. It is the same little trick to avoid getting stunned by other seismic attacks in NES games, such as one of the first that was famously used by Gutsman in the very first Mega Man game.
So here is 6-4. Human Mustard utilizing his Jugum Clouds. Gotta be. Wow. He found that magic pixel there and didn't get swung by those spinning logs. Did you see that?
Oh my goodness. Somebody clipped that, because that could have been disaster.
Human Mustard knows what he's doing with that frog suit. That's for sure, Leslie. So
no doubt about it.
Here's Abuba 7 now at 6F1. Johnny Link now on the World 5 Airship. So here's another stage that you can't normally complete as Frog Mario that we have made it more friendly in the randomizer. This is 6-5. You normally have to have a tail to get to the end, but you'll see some magic. See? There you go.
Yep, don't even have to break the blocks. That's the real sweet part about that.
And Human Mustard will use his hammer and his Jugum Cloud to skip the Ice Fort 6F2 and move on to the only Greenland stage of the Ice World 6-8. You know it's 8 because you see the letter H in the middle of the stage, and H is the 8th letter of the alphabet.
And basically, compared to the rest of Iceland, is basically
Look at that clip!
That ground clip, though!
Human Mustard is showing off all the swag tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That was an amazing clip that Human Mustard just did on that H.
Absolutely, that was insane. Honestly, I was about to make a 6-8 comparison to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I didn't even get the chance to because of that.
Yeah, my goodness gracious. Ooh, Human Mustard is going to try to do the wall jump here in 6-9 to skip it. I mean, you have the frog soup, and Human Mustard's going to cash in his chips and just play it out.
Also worth noting, 6F2 also has a block height that's modified, as well as 6F1, as Damnimus United points out in chat.
All right, so Johnny Link in the Boom Boom fight here in 6F1. Takes it down.
Uh-oh, we got ourselves a Hammer Bros stuck together for a bit on Macobra's side.
Oh, Macobra skipping that Hammer Bro with that screen transition right there. Now Johnny Link at 6-4. Here's the Carpet Fort, 6F3. And I'll tell you Abuba and Makobra, they are neck and neck here at 6-8.
Now Mustard has to wait for the elevator to get up to the doorway. Now, here's a room where you really do not want Boom Boom to get loose because it's chaos. It's like Fenway Park's Green Monster with all the crazy terms of Boom Boom's jumps.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a pinball machine with all those blocks, so you definitely want to make sure you've got the lock on him or you're going to have a tough time getting those 3 hits.
Now we get the World 6 Airship. And Mustard not going for the clip that we often see in the normal speed runs because it's a clip that gives the runners a bit of a handbrake for 15-20 seconds. It's all it does, but hey, it can help.
Meanwhile, Human Mustard just took down Lemmy Koopa at the World 6 Airship. He'll be moving on to World 7. For those of you who are wondering if you can do the block clip in 7-1 and 7-6, the answer to that question is yes. We saw these runners practice that before the race tonight.
And it's definitely doable. I've seen it done myself. In fact, I've done it myself. And I'm pretty sure when I did that, I surprised somebody who didn't realize that that was a thing. That was a treat.
I'll bet you were thrilled with that one. So here's the clip. Let's see what happens with 7F1, or not 7F1, just 7-1. Second try for Human Mustard. Wow. He's got to avoid the trip. Oh, more fireworks, Leslie.
Just as you were saying it. Just as you were saying it, Laws, but it's only the 2-up, so it's not as bad as it could have been. Abuba did go for the clip on the airship, did not get it. Makobra opts not to go for it.
Yeah, those two have been neck and neck for quite some time in this race, as Johnny Link is now in, this is 6-10. So divergence of the past, we see 6-9 and we've seen 6-10 now tonight as well. Makobra taking...
why Johnny Link opted to pick 6-10 instead of 6-9.
The only reason I could think of maybe, Leslie, is he may not have some confidence trying to do the wall jump in 6-9. Figured he'd probably have a better chance of 6-10. Just has to make sure he's got to watch out for that spinning log. And he's all right. He's through. Human Mustard just completed 7-2. So, yeah, he's definitely built himself a lead on these runners. And the pressure's going to be on both Makobra and Abuba 7 in 7-1. They've got a mac and cheese this year at Leslie Pro to gain any kind of time on Human Mustard. Oh!
Abuba hits it!
Commentator's blessing for Abuba 7, but the same cannot be said for Makobra. But he does get it, I believe, third try. So, pretty good.
Still keeping pace to some degree. And he didn't get the fireworks, so that's a small time gain on Human Mustard, who's currently in the Green Hill zone of 7-3.
Yep, you are correct about that. That's one of the stages that has the endless star. But of course, you're not going to get there quick enough with the frog suit, so that's not going to be a factor, obviously. As Johnny Link has just finished 6F3, and he'll be moving on to the airship himself. Is Johnny Link at the airship.
And with 7-4 not being an auto-scroller, Human Mustard's just going to swim right through it.
Yep, this is a stage that the auto-scroller has been conveniently turned off, and with the frog suit, it makes going through what's normally an annoying stage pretty easy.
Yeah, actually makes it fun.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Down goes Lemmy Koopa for Johnny Link, so he's moving on to World 7 also. All right, folks, so here's a stage that normally cannot be completed as Frog Mario because you'd have to have some kind of tail. This is 7F1, also known as Fort Knox, and there's that pipe that just takes you right to the Boom Boom fight. You normally don't see that in the vanilla game.
No, you do not. And that is one where I'm pretty sure Nintendo's phone hotline service made a bit of money off of back in the day.
Oh, no question about it. Johnny Link 7-1. Here's Human Mustard in 7-6. Having some problems, though, on this stage, so maybe an opportunity for Makobra. But Human Mustard doesn't waste too much time. He does get the clip.
The clip is not being kind to Johnny Link at all.
There it is.
Goes. I just had to basically speak like that so the game knew that somebody was giving the game a stink eye.
Yeah, for sure. And Abuba 7 maintaining that very small lead on Makobra as they both complete 7-4. Here's 7-8, which is one of the nastiest stages in the vanilla game because you have all these piranhas, you have the nippers, you have the fire nipper at the very end, but there is a Hammer Brothers item that you normally can get in a vanilla game, but that's going to be absolutely no use to us here in tonight's race.
Through that, and in the speed run, that particular hammer suit you mentioned, what a lot of the top runners will do is they will play this stage, grab that hammer suit, and take it to the end of the game. Other runners will opt to play 6-5 in World 6, take a hammer suit out of, well, somewhere in that world. And we don't have to
the chest. There's yes.
And then you just use it on Bowser.
Yeah, there's a chest.
But
chest in World 6 has a Hammer Brothers suit. That's probably the Hammer Brothers suit that you're referring to. Believe it or not, there's also a Hammer Brothers suit that you can get in 6-10 if you get the P-switch and clear the munchers that are guarding a pipe.
Yep, I remember that one. And that is a rather... Well, that takes a lot of time to set up comparatively, so speedrunners are... Chances are they're not going for that one.
Yeah, not a chance. Meanwhile, Human Mustard just took down Ludwig von Koopa and is moving on to World 8. This is normally the part of the race where I ask the chat to predict how many bridges it is going to take to build a path to Bowser's Castle, but I'm not going to do that tonight because we're talking about the vanilla game. There are no bridges, just the one lock that guards Bowser's Castle, and you have to complete the Super Tanks level in order to do so.
But it is also worth asking because we have to reverse it. Chat, how many hands?
Oh, that's a wow. It's been so long since I remembered that the hand stages were there because it's been a long time since I've seen a vanilla speed run. That is actually a good game. How many hands will Human Mustard get? 0, 1, 2, or 3? Make your predictions now. And this is why, Leslie, that World 8 for sure tonight can be called the Great Equalizer because it's still anybody's game. If Human Mustard gets all 3 hands, and let's say Makobra or Abuba 7 get none, we could see something happen here. And Abuba 7 keeping that narrow lead on Makobra for second place as Human Mustard can now sail the 7 seas in the Navy.
Yep, they ain't gonna swim in them though because, well, you could get pushed under the stage and that would be a time loss that would not be worth it.
Not a chance. Johnny Link now in 7-6. Again, trying to do that clip. Had some trouble in 7-1. We'll see if he has a better go here in 7-6.
Gets bumped into the stage, and because you can't nope out of it, that means you gotta take a long climb.
You hate to see that, folks. You just hate to see that. Yeah, you're gonna have to complete the stage because there's a lot of time on that clock. Oh, there's one hand for Human Mustard.
And herein lies a problem that I think should be brought up to Fred, as that particular way of going through 7-6 is not frog friendly. You can ride the exclamation mark platform from below. The timing is tight. and your jumps have to be good to work your way upward to ride it higher, but it can be done.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Not everybody can do that clip. So, yeah, I guess that is something we're going to have to tell the creator, Fred, about, huh?
Yep, that is one for Fred to work on for a future installment of this rando.
Well, check this out. Human Mustard got all 3 hands. If Macobra or Abuba 7 can get no hands, we got ourselves a ball game.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is going to be huge. Let's see what happens as Abuba 7 and Macobra. I'll tell you what, Macobra is now taking a little bit of a lead now on Abuba 7. So let's see what happens. Oh, Macobra gets the middle hand. No hands for Abuba!
Oh my, we got a race.
Wow, how the tables can turn, ladies and gentlemen. Abuba 7 has a shot.
So you're saying there's a chance, as the old saying goes.
Right,
and
you are,
yes,
Leslie.
I agree with that PogChamp usage.
All right, so Macobra now in the Air Force. I believe he only had 1 hand, so again, he was able to gain a lot of time on Human Mustard, but yeah, he is now definitely falling behind Abuba 7. Johnny Link, meanwhile, doesn't want 7-8. He's going to do the Muncher run of 7-7.
Or in this case, the Muncher Hop, because of the frog suit.
True, true. Abuba and Human Mustard are side by side, ladies and gentlemen.
This is gonna be a heck of a finish, and Mustard takes a bit of a lead, but we've got Abuba going for a P-speed strat. There's another block that was raised up, and just like that, Abuba has blown past Human Mustard.
Wow, the strats, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, Abuba 7 does take the lead on Human Mustard on the back of that strat. Amazing stuff here, Leslie.
Meanwhile, Johnny Link going through 7-9. Macobra also in 8-1, not doing a shell run strat, which if he had done it... Wow, where did... these guys come up with all sorts of crazy strats with frog percent. I don't know where they come up with half of this stuff. Maybe it's just their own experimentation to some degree. And since you can't get P-speed on that hill, no mega jump, but Abuba makes it do just fine. Mustard not far behind. Macobra about a half stage behind as Johnny Link.
Oh no! Missed the note and commentators curse and Macobra 52. I think any shot he might have had on Abuba 7 and Human Mustard might have just gone down the drain on that one.
Both runners used a cloud to skip Dark Door Maze, so now we're at Super Tank. So now we hop along with the frog version of the Oglib Super Tank strat, which is normally reserved for auto-scrollers, but it had to be mentioned to some capacity.
Look at these. These two are literally tied, but oh, Abuba missed. He missed the jump on the Boom Boom, and Human Mustard will retake the lead by a couple seconds.
Oh, man, this is so close. And Johnny Link having to use the screw here to find a way to get up and over, and he does. Now we got Bowser's Castle, Mustard with a slight lead.
Now, do we have any clips that could turn the tables for Frog Mario?
Unfortunately, Johnny Link died in the airship, so has to play 7F2.
Oh, yeah, I hate to see it.
Extremely unfortunate break, and I agree. You really do hate to see it, because Piranha 4 is viewed by many who have played this game and in this community as the worst fort in the game. No clips from either runner.
I'll tell you what, this could very well boil down to the times that these runners got done in at the end, because they are literally a second or two apart. On our screen, Human Mustard has about a couple of a second lead, but it's all going to come down to who hits the dot done first, Leslie. Here's Bowser.
As well as the Fireball RNG can also swing it.
Oh, that's right. How long it's going to take for Bowser to do the stomp also could swing it. I forgot about that too. They're neck neck and neck. They're literally
The
tied,
Booba
Leslie.
missed wide left like Justin Tucker earlier tonight.
Oh, no, and that is likely going to do it. Human Mustard's going to take this one unless he misses wide left, which he does not, and that is going to do it.
That is ball game, folks. Get your GGs in chat for Human Mustard, who's going to take one heck of a race. That was a barn burner right down to the very end as a Booba finishes Bowser off.
Yeah, my goodness gracious. You couldn't have asked for a more hotly contested race than what we just saw between Human Mustard and Abuba 7. If this was a tournament race, I'd be going out of my mind.
I'm already going out of my mind looking at this. Well, I can get you the times as I have them in front of me. Human Mustard, your winner at a 49.06. Abuba 7 finished with a 49.20, a 14-second difference.
Wow, and I'll tell you what, Macobra wasn't that far behind. I believe he's going to pull off. Yes, that is going to be a sub 50 for Macobra. And I'll tell you what, if Macobra doesn't take that death in 8-2, what could have happened?
It would have been, oh man, that would have been just absolute bonkers. And Macobra just said in the racetime.gg room, 8-2 death cost me.
He'd have won. Wow, he would have sniped them both if he didn't miss that jump in 8-2. Wow. You talk about a race for the ages, Leslie Pro. I think we just saw it right there between those three. And, you know, Johnny Link, he's put in a very great effort tonight. You know, he's definitely established himself as a pretty good Mario 3 player himself. But he just went up against three buzzsaws tonight. Let's just put it that way. These three just played phenomenally well. And Johnny Link.
Absolutely. I knew we were going to be in for something phenomenal tonight. And honestly, we got that and then some.
Oh, no question about it. Johnny Link, let's root him on as he finishes up his race. He just cleared the Army stage, and he will be moving on to the Navy stage next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Macobra 52 here in the commentators booth with us. GG, I'll tell you what, you, Abuba 7, and Human Mustard, three players neck and neck throughout a lot of this race. Abuba 7, we also have him in the commentators booth. Macobra, 8-2, that jump, that was the race right there because Abuba 7 had no hands. Human Mustard had 3 hands, which enabled Abuba 7 to actually take a brief lead on Human Mustard going into the Bowser fight, but that wide left of target on one of the ground pounds enabled Human Mustard to sneak in the back door. But what a race tonight, gentlemen.
Wow, sounds pretty intense from the sound of things. Man.
Oh, it really was. This is, wow, of all the races that I have called and been a part of over the past several months, this might have been the most hype.
Lol, it was a frog race.
It was a frog race, but it was a lot of fun. And, you know, World 8, and poor Johnny Link, he got caught by all 3 hands. This definitely lived up to its great equalizer nickname, and Johnny Link, unfortunately, going to take a lava bath here in the third hand stage. But that actually might be, yes, he is going to skip. That's actually a time win for Johnny Link because he's able to skip the hand. But to make it worthwhile, he's got to get through this stage.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 hands for Human Mustard. Cobra had 1 hand, and Abuba 7 had no hands.
I got no hands.
Man. That's RNG for you.
Yeah, of course I got no hands on frog meme, not on a vanilla.
Right.
Of course.
But I'll tell you what, the fact that you got no hands literally equalized the race because Human Mustard was cruising. He was crushing the competition in this race. And then the hands happened, and Abuba 7 and Human Mustard were literally neck and neck going into Bowser's Castle, and we're literally still tied going into Bowser's fight. You know what? After 2 ground pounds, you guys were still tied. Yeah, again, the wide left that Abuba 7 had was what enabled Human Mustard to sneak into the back door. Man, what a race tonight, gentlemen. What a race.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually assumed that when I saw Mustard finished, I thought, oh, I think I lost the race on that mistake. Damn. It's okay.
Yeah, and A2 for me, I should have practiced out more, I guess. I thought I could make that jump at that point, but nope. Took a
Nice
dive.
job there for Johnny Link. He just got through 8-1, so next up for him will be 8-2.
Yeah, Boss Bass got his field today, too.
Yeah, we saw a couple of meals for Boss Bass today, and interesting, Johnny Link skipping 8-2 and playing the fort.
Maybe didn't like the jumps that happen in 8-2. Because those jumps can be tough because you're used to going at P speed down that hill. You're not getting that with a frog because I do not think there's a shell nearby that you can even use.
No, I think you're right about that. Heck, in the vanilla game, those jumps are hard.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yesterday on practice, I died 3 times on A2. I actually don't know what to do. Oh, you can make it. Okay.
Yep, the spikes have been raised because normally the spikes are 1 block lower, and you wouldn't be able to make that as Frog Mario. So there's another level that has been adjusted there, Leslie.
Yep. And although I do think it was faster to skip that particular level because that's about, I want to say, a 45-second level, including the transitions.
All right, so Johnny Link now in the Super Tank stage. So he'll be on his way to Bowser's Castle shortly and should still be able to complete this in under an hour. And down goes Boom Boom for Johnny Link, so he'll be moving on to Bowser's Castle. See how it plays out for him. Here we go. And as Frog Mario, you cannot do the everyman's clip where the one-up is, because Frog Mario cannot sneak into that little crevice to do the clip.
And in vanilla, that statue is thankfully the only one that fires. So if you forgot what the vanilla gauntlet looks like, here you go.
Yep, just the first one fires. The fireball pattern will always be the same. So for the final time, here's Bowser.
Johnny Link opting to stay up close and personal.
Hey, why not? He's trying to play leapfrog with Bowser's fireballs here. We'll see how it plays out. Nah, I think he's just having some fun now.
At this point, you might as well.
Oh, for sure. One more ground pound ought to do it. Nope, wide right. We had the wide left earlier, now we have the wide right variety.
And Frog Mario's still registering hits because Bowser's hitbox being in his head. No cheesing that as the frog.
Not a chance. But get your GGs out for Johnny Link. He has completed the race, and it'll be a time in the 58-minute range. Leslie Pro, what do we have as the official time for Johnny Link?
Official time for Johnny Link is 58:24, And that is a PB for him in this mode as well.
Excellent. So congratulations to Johnny Link for that accomplishment tonight.
Nice. Well, GG guys, thank you for the race. I will go now.
Likewise, thanks to always Speed Gaming for hosting this, and for both of y'all for your awesome commentary as usual. Thank you all once again.
It was their pleasure. We'll see you guys down the road. Take care.